Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today I am back in VGC on Showdown with some more shenanigans and experiments that I've enjoyed running so far. I've also come complete with a snazzy new haircut, which is all very exciting stuff. Now, today, as I say, we're back in VGC. Got a few games with a new team that I've sort of edited from another one I'd started earlier. A while ago, I came to the conclusion that I should use Furfrou and Audino as a pairing. And what I wanted to do was make Furfrou this ridiculously bulky, horrific thing to take down by going for a cotton guard, and then having Klutz Audino use the move bestow with an assault vest. So I'm sitting at +3 defense with an assault vest on Furfrou, and then use Audino to heal pulse. Now, I tried this out several times, so often I was trying this, and it just didn't work. It wasn't working, so I shelved it. Thought, maybe we'll revisit this another point. Fast forward to earlier today. I was in a call with a few people, including the Master of Mayhem, Sam, aka Foofoo, and I mentioned these plans. I was like, oh, this is a plan I was thinking of using in VGC. It didn't work. What a laugh. And without a moment of hesitation, Sam just goes, does Audino get skill swap? Because why don't you just try giving the fur coat to Mega-Audino? And my mind was blown. I was like, that's genius and evil, and I love it. And I couldn't believe that wasn't the thing that had come to mind. Instantly, I went into VGC. Sam was in call. Ritchie, my man Ritchie, was in call. A few other people were sort of dropping in and out, and we were making this team. And this is what we came up with. So, we've got the first pairing, and so we've got Furfrou, Barnardo's, because he's very charitably giving away his ability. Literally, he's just there to give fur coat to Mega-Audino. And then it's got Charm and Snarl, in case I want to lower some stats. T-Wave to be annoying, and U-Turn to just get the hell on out of dodge if I need to. Paired up with this guy, Mega-Audino, fully specially defensive, skill swap, wish, Dazzling Gleam and Flamethrower. It's evil. It takes hits so well. Iron Heads from Bisharp, I don't think 2-hit KO with the fur coat. I think Iron Head from Adamant Mega Morwile has a chance to not 2-hit KO. And you'll see some of the things this thing does are ridiculous. What's also great is that people see this and then they instantly go and try and whack a Toxic onto Mega-Audino, who's just given Healer to the one next to it, which can heal it up. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. So that's the main focus of the team. We also have a Choice Scarf Landorus-Therian, an Assault Vest Conk, Sugarberry offensive bulky Heatran, and the ever-present competitive Milotic with the Citrus Berry and Icy Wind. So, that is the team we're working with. What's going to happen now is I'm going to show you 4 battles, all are very fair. Well, I was going to say they're all fairly short, but by VGC standards, these battles are actually quite long. Because many of my team, or one in particular, just doesn't die, and that's the whole point of it. The idea of this team is to get Audino set up, so that they have to focus all their attention on it to take it down. Meanwhile, my other mons are doing most of the legwork. So that's the plan. Let's get into these battles and see how things played out with this team. So, first up, we are up against someone by the name of Dusty Clouds 598, and instantly I'm seeing there are issues. My team doesn't really want to be dealing with a Clefable. And I'm interested to see how well it can take on the Mega Kangaskhan, who is so prevalent in VGC. So, let's get into the battle, see how things played out. Lead off with the Garchomp of the Thunderous. I'm going to make my usual lead, Furfrou and Audino. Gonna Mega up straight away as the taunt comes in on the wrong mon. This always happens. Goes for Snarl, get those special attack drops. Garchomp's going to go for a Swords Dance as I go for the skill swap. So, Audino is ready to go. T-Wave in on the Audino doesn't matter because it's really slow. Earthquake takes out that, but look how little it does to Audino. So little damage. I'm able to go for a Dazzling Gleam and do nice damage to Garchomp and chip on the Thunderous. So in comes Milotic, Skydrop on Audino. Earthquake's going to destroy my Milotic. But what Milotic's able to do is take out the Garchomp with an Icy Wind, which is lovely. And of course miss the Thunderous. So in comes Kangaskhan. Gonna Mega up and go for a Fake Out onto my Milotic, which is fine. Skydrop comes in on the Audino, and unfortunately, flinch happens, paralysis happens. What are you going to do? Knock off, of course, into that thing, the Milotic. Power Up Punch doing nothing to Audino, absolutely nothing, and I'm now going to actually skill swap away Parental Bond and give it Fur Coat. I had a plan behind this because I knew Thunderwave was going to come on Conkeldurr. This is Guts Conkeldurr, however. Sucker Punch does nothing to Audino, Drain Punch does enormous damage to what is now Fur Coat Kangaskhan as I go for the Wish. He's now one turn late, going to taunt my Audino, go for a Sucker Punch onto the Conk, who gets paralysed, unfortunate, Dazzling Gleam, once again, chip damage. Audino, back to near full, still on the field. Sucker Punch to Conkeldurr, again not doing much, Sky Drop onto it, and I take out the Kangaskhan with the Dazzling Gleam, and in comes the last one, Wobbuffet. So Sky Drop will take out the Conkeldurr, of course. I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam, do some damage to either one, as Wobbuffet just goes for the Mirror Coat. This is absolutely fine. So, Taunt ends. He's going to go for a last gasp one to stop me wishing. I know that the Mirror Coat's coming over, Flamethrower on the Thunderous to take it out. So, Mirror Coat, Wobbuffet versus my Audino, who's now encored into Flamethrower. But remember, I have Parental Bond on it now, which is absolutely grand. So I'm going to keep going for Flamethrower. Of course, it's all I can do. Mirror Coat is doing so little damage. Audino has too much health for it to do anything. My taunt ends. I'm going to go for the Flamethrower again. What he should have done was just keep going for Mirror Coat. And he does, which is his best play. My Encore ends, and here he should have kept going for it. He goes for the Encore instead. I was only ever going for Flamethrower because of that I get the burn. And that is fantastic. He's going to go take some burn damage. I'm going to go for the Flamethrower once again. And, you know, I know that his Mirror Coat can't take me out. So, he goes down to the burn, and Mega-Audino, for 15 turns of VGC, has just sat here and tanked hits as it's supposed to. And yeah, that was the first game. Mega-Audino doing all different kinds of work, able to work around some tricksy things with encores and taunts galore, and yeah, just sort of tank the hits when it needed to. So, that was the first game. Let's get into the second one and see if we can do any better. Right, second battle, and we're up against Kamching Fire, and I can already see this is going to be an annoying team. We've got a Sableye and a Whimsicott. He's looking to have sort of what I'm imagining to be dual weather, Sun with the Megazard Y and the Chlorophyll Venusaur. Not sure what the T-Tor's doing really. Could be an unnerved set. I don't think we actually find out. I'm not sure he brings it. Either way, we're going to get into the battle. I'm going to make my usual leads, and we'll see. He leads with the Sableye and with the Rotom, and again I'm going with Furfrou and Audino. So I Mega up, and there's the Willow onto the Audino. Don't mind. Going to go for the Snarl, just start getting those stat drops, ideally for the Rotom mainly. Don't want to be taking massive hits. He goes for a Willow, so he double Willows, which is okay, and I go for the skill swap. So Audino once again is set to go. So there's the Confuse Ray. I already don't like this player. I go for the T-Wave onto the Sableye just to try and mitigate some nastiness. Hydra onto the Furfrou, and I'm going for Dazzling Gleams. It's doing nice damage to the Sableye. And there goes the healer on Furfrou, healing up the burn on Audino. So he's going to Confuse Ray my Audino this time. I'm going to get confused. I'm going to get a crit Thunderbolt that's going to paralyse me, and I'm going to get confused. So an entirely Hacksville turn for me went absolutely wrong, and I was getting a bit annoyed right now. But I snap out, I'm going to stick with it, going to keep going for those Snarls, get those stat drops on the Rotom. I get a crit, which doesn't do much anyway. Hydro Pump is going to do nothing to Audino, Foul Play is going to do nothing to Audino, and I'm going to be able to get a Wish off, which is absolutely lovely. I'm pretty sure I can take any 2 hits from these guys. And either way, he doesn't even try. He goes for a Protect and a Confuse Ray, which I'm fine with. You know, I miss a Snarl and he protects, so Furfrou did nothing. And Audino gets confused, but I get the Wish back, and I get the healer from Furfrou. Once again, Audino's looking great. So he Willows into the Audino as I go for a Snarl once again with Furfrou, and the Rotomosh, I believe, Willows into the Audino because Kamching Fire is a good player. And Audino, I think, gets confused there, so not much of a thing. But I'm still looking in a good position. He goes for Protect on the Rotom once again, and I'm going to get my last, I believe, Snarl off with Furfrou. Confusion ends on Audino. I go for a Dazzle to do damage to the Sableye, as he just goes for a Foul Play and finally takes out my my Furfrou. Unfortunately, I don't manage to get another healer off onto Audino. But I bring in Heatran, as he switches into Charizard. I go for Protect, predicting the Confuse Ray, which of course he goes for. And here I'm just going to go for another Wish with Audino. You know, if you're going to go Confuse Ray, I'm going to stall you out. So he goes into Rotom and goes for the Mega with the Zard and a Protect. As I just go for a Heat Wave, unfortunately I miss on the Rotom, and I go for a Dazzling Gleam, which does nominal damage once again to the Rotom. So he gets his Citrus Berry, I get my Wish, I'm still looking good. Goes for the Heat Wave, which very kindly gives Flash Fire to Heatran, does very little to Audino even in the sun. And Heatran's Heat Wave does so much more. Hydro Pump, it's sun lowered, so it doesn't do too much to Heatran. Dazzling Gleam from Audino is going to take out the Rotom and do a nice bit of damage to the Zard. So in comes the Venusaur, and he goes for the Solar Beam onto Heatran. I believe he actually goes for the double Solar Beam onto Heatran, looking to take it out. He doesn't manage to, and Heatran going to go for the enormous Heat Wave, taking out both. I actually misplay here. I should have wished with Audino, but I went for a Flamethrower in case one thing didn't go down. And now all he's got left is the Sableye. He's going to go for a Confuse Ray onto the Heatran as a last gasp effort, but it's game over from here. I go for a Flash Cannon, and, you know, that's going to be the game. So, Audino, once again, is still on the field, taking hits all day, every day, able to wish up when needed, and deal with a very annoying team with, you know, help from his comrades. So, that's going to be the second game, and now we shall move on to the third. Okay, third battle, and we are starting to face some really standard looking stuff. Kangaskhan, Megazards, Rotom, Aegislash, Amoonguss, they're all ridiculously common. I don't know how common Hydreigon is, as I say, I don't VGC. But either way, I'm going to make my usual lead, as in come Kangaskhan and Rotom Wash to take on Furfrou and Audino. So, I'm going to Mega up, Rotom's going to Protect, as Kangaskhan fakes out the Audino. I actually go for a Charm here, and flinch. He doesn't Mega, which is interesting. He's going to switch out into the Amoonguss, which I Thunder Wave on the switch. Rotom going to go for a Hydro Pump onto my Furfrou, as once again I go for the Skill Swap. So now I'm just going to do my usual stuff. I'm going to start snarling away with Furfrou, and I think, yeah, he goes for the Willow. He unfortunately misses, but it's not too much of a thing. I go for a Flamethrower, and he's going to Spore into the Pokemon that he just tried to burn because he's a good player. Anyway, he's going to switch back into the Kangaskhan as I go for a Snarl, get a crit, which really doesn't do too much anyway. I really just want to get special attack drops on the Rotom. He goes for a Hydro, it doesn't do a lot, and, you know, I'm asleep, but Healer from Furfrou is going to wake me up. So in comes the Aegislash. He finally Megas up with Kanga, goes for the big Fake Out, gets damage onto my Furfrou, which flinches as I go for a Wish, predicting damage on the next turn to come into Audino. I go into Heatran, he goes for the Power Up Punch, which doesn't do a lot to Audino, but it does get Kanga to +2. And he's going to Flash Cannon into the Heatran, so I managed to avoid that. Go for the Flamethrower on the Aegislash, which does unfortunately pop the Weakness policy. But I do get my Wish, so Audino's looking good. He's going to go for the King's Shield here, and Power Up Punch into the Heatran, which does massive damage. Doesn't kill me, but now Kanga is at +4, remember that. Heat Wave does damage to the Kanga, but Aegislash is protected, and Flamethrower doesn't do anything to Aegislash. So Heatran going to Protect here, predicting to try and take me out as he goes for Wide Guard. He's going to return into the Audino, +4, stab, return from a Kangaskhan, did not KO Mega-Audino. It's so good, as I get a burn with Flamethrower just to finish things off. So Kanga is going to be able to take out Heatran, and Aegislash is going to be able to take out Audino, who took that hit so well from Kanga, it's unreal. So now I have to go into my last two, Furfrou and this guy, Conkeldurr. Mach Punch does well, and I managed to get the double Snarl kill, which is fantastic. Love seeing that from Furfrou, the double Snarl kill. But he has Rotom and Amoonguss left, and this is not going to be easy. He goes for Rage Powder, but I have Snarl and Rock Slide. They're my moves of choice. They're going to hit both Mons anyway. He's going to Hydro Pump into my Furfrou, and it's going to go down. So now it's just Conk versus the world. But Amoonguss is looking tough. He goes for the Protect. I go for the knockoff on the Amoonguss. Doesn't take it out, which means he's going to be able to go for the Spore here and put my Conk to sleep. And now it's just a matter of them just hitting me with attacks. Thunderbolt and Giga Drain coming in. I am AV, so I can take these hits. As he goes for a Hydro, I do not wake up here as he goes for another Giga. And I'm sitting at 4%, which isn't good. I wake up here, I go for the last gasp Mach Punch just to try and save differential for no reason, but it's all for naught. His Rotom has a Citrus anyway, and he takes me out with a T-Bolt. So, unfortunately I lost there, but what we did see was the defensive prowess of Fur Coat Mega-Audino, taking a +4 Parental Bond return from a Kangaskhan, a Mega Kangaskhan, and it took it and left it at 25%. That is amazing. I'm such a huge fan of what myself, with the help of Foo, have created in the form of Mega-Audino with Fur Coat. But that's the third game. Let's get into the final game and see if we can end on a high note. Okay, final battle against Bad at VGC 2015. Well, buddy, that makes two of us. And we have some interesting things. It's going to be a great test of Mega-Audino because we see Metagross and Bisharp. as well as a Whimsicott, who is an annoying thing to try and deal with. But either way, I'm going to make my usual lead, as my opponent goes with the Suicune, and indeed the Whimsicott. So in come Furfrou and Audino. Gonna Mega up, as always, as he taunts. Once again, they taunt the wrong thing. They never taunt the Audino, they should. I go for a Snarl with Furfrou. He's going to Snarl back, so he's a Snarler himself. This is absolutely fine, I don't mind getting the special attack drops as I go for the skill swap. So once again, Audino is set up. One turn too late, he taunts my Audino as I keep going for Snarls, which is fine. Suicune, I believe, is probably just going to do the same. Yeah, so all across the field we're sitting at -2 special attack, but what's it matter? I'm going to Flamethrower the Whimsicott and get a crit because Audino doesn't care about your stat drops. He's going to go for a Last Gasp Light Screen, and the Snarl is going to take out the what's it called? The Whimsicott, which is grand. And I go for a Dazzling Gleam and do some nominal damage here. So, in comes the Metagross. He is Mega, and he misses a Meteor Mash on Audino. This is very important, because now I'm going to Charm him, and I'm going to Flamethrower him, and I'm going to get the burn. So Mega Metagross is just neutered completely by hacks. He misses a second Meteor Mash, which is very unfortunate. As he goes for a Scald onto Audino, I go for another Charm on Meta, and just keep Flamethrowing it, really. So this is the turn where he's finally going to connect with Meteor Mash. This is how much it does. 9%! 9%! Scald does 8 and gets a burn. I go for a T-Wave onto the Suicune, and my Flamethrower does more damage than his Meteor Mash did. Tough Claws boosted Meteor Mash, Audino tanking it. So here comes the Snarl. You know, it's not doing a lot of damage, but it's not meant to. It's just meant to annoy the opposition, I think. Meteor Mash, once again, it's doing so little to Audino, and I'm able to set up a Wish. He goes for the Scald into my Furfrou. Burn damage happens to Metagross, and it's fine. So I'm going to Snarl here with my Furfrou. Take out the Mega Metagross with Snarl. Snarl kills all over the place. Dazzling Gleam on the Audino, and Snarl happens once again from the Suicune. And at the end of this turn, I'm going to get my Wish back up to full health nearly. And I believe... No, I don't quite get my healer this time. He brings in the Landorus just to get the Intimidate for more stat drops, which I don't mind. I'm going to Charm the Landorus. He Earthquakes, and it does so little damage to Audino, it's unreal. I'm just going to click the Dazzling Gleam button, and he gets Paralyzed with Suicune, and there's the healer onto my Audino. And at this point, my opponent, who props to him for staying for so long into that game, he finally does forfeit right there, because Audino and Furfrou have just sat on the field and annoyed him to hell. But props to him for staying as long as he did, to be honest. But that's going to be the final game. Audino just... I know that it was at such low attack and it was burnt, but Audino taking hits from a Mega Metagross is hilarious to see. Always, consistently taking hits really, really well. So yeah, that is the story of Fur Coat Mega-Audino. It's evil, but it's really good. So yeah, that is going to be it from this video. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. Thank you very much to Sam, aka Foofoo, for helping me out with the idea and indeed the team build. His link, if for some reason you don't know who Foofoo is, and I don't know why you wouldn't, because he's amazing. He is a constant, continuous source of inspiration for me, with his own crazy sets that he runs. His links will be down in the description below. And was I think Ritchie was in. Yeah, Ritchie was involved with the team building as well, so his links too, down there in the description. Check both of those guys out. They helped me build this evil team, and they're wonderful content creators in their own right. There's a plane going over. I hope you can't hear it, so I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you finally once again for watching, and I guess with that, I will see you next time. Laters.